good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is for you. Uh, Basically, the purpose of this video is to introduce you to my Substack. And basically, I will be making video versions of my essays at Substack here on my YouTube, Snowball Speaks. And so I wanted to read for you the welcoming introduction, if you will, for my Substack, and it is entitled Seven Commandments. The title of this particular introduction, if you will, is entitled Welcome to the Seven Commandments Start Here. So, I hope you enjoy this as I try to explain the different sections of Substack, my Substack, here for you. So, let us begin. My name is Snowball, and I welcome you to my baby, Seven Commandments, a daily exercise in writing and thinking, a living body set upright upon the page, concerned with how philosophy, politics, theology, futurism, and art circulate like blood, shaping power, belief, and historical memory. It breathes, it labors, it occasionally winces, and if it appears composed, that is only because the bones are holding for now. In this opening breath, I set out the structure of the newsletter, arranging its organs with some care so the whole may function without embarrassing collapse. Each section approaches the modern world from a different angle, yet all concern themselves with how societies organize meaning, authority, and moral order, which is to say, how the great body of civilization persuades itself it is not quietly unwell. Number one, Kohatu, leftist politics and political economy. This is the clenched musculature of the body, the jaw that grinds, the hands that grip, the sinews that pull against the hard frame of capital. It worries at structure like teeth at bone, relentless, occasionally admirable, often exhausting, and never entirely satisfied with the flavor of what it chews. Number two, Cowan Journal, Indigenous History and Memory. Here lies the marrow deep within the bones, where older blood is formed, where memory is not written but grown. It reminds the rest of the body that what stands today is fed by what was laid down long ago, whether acknowledged or not. Number three, First Fish, theology, belief, and moral structure. This is the heart beating with grave certainty, convinced of its own necessity, issuing rhythms that the rest must follow. It speaks of order and invisible frameworks as if it falters. It does so with the confidence of something that assumes it will be forgiven. Number four, Fresco Observatory, futurism and speculative thought. This is the eye, or perhaps the restless gland, forever imagining new conditions for the body, peering ahead with a mixture of brilliance and overreach. It sees possibilities, some nourishing, others likely to induce a fine and memorable collapse. Number five, Lord, fiction and cultural criticism. This is the skin, receptive, interpretive, easily marked, yet stubbornly resilient. It feels the world, translates contact into meaning, and when pressed too hard, it does not hesitate to flare in irritation. Number six, Stanton Ingress, Forteanism, anomalies, and the unexplained. This sits above like the skull, housing the wandering mind that delights in what refuses explanation. It gathers the strange as though they were curious lesions, presenting them with a dry amusement that suggests The body never understood itself as well as it pretended. Number 7. Idle miscellaneous. Notes, fragments, and unfinished ideas. This is the gut, broad, churning, full of half-digested notions. It processes what the rest cannot immediately use and occasionally produces something of value, though one would be unwise to ask too closely how. Number 8. Snowball Speaks. Sits below this, a newer organ championing Polynesian spirituality and sovereignty. This is a forceful presence, like a second heart or an insistent liver pushing conviction through the body, filtering out the poisons of forgetfulness, refusing reduction, and reminding the whole organism where its strength was first drawn. This opening draws the sinews tight and sets the bones in place for a living body, one that binds the intellect, imagination, and the responsibilities we inherit from history as bones knit to flesh, as breath mingles with blood, as the whole uneasy organism insists on continuing. So basically, that is the welcome essay that I wrote or gave birth to, if you will, for the purposes of my 7 Commandments Substack. And so I hope you come to my Substack and read what I've written, the various essays, the hundreds of essays actually that I've written. But even if you don't come to my Substack and read the many hundreds of essays that I've written, I am going to be making video versions, both short and long, of these essays anyway. So hopefully I can make them accessible to all. And basically, that's the idea. So after this, what I'm going to be doing is a series of videos. So obviously, each Substack section of mine comes at the subject from a particular perspective, from a particular sort of pair of eyes, if you will. And so when it comes to my next videos, I'm going to start with kohatu, what I mean by foundational videos. And what I mean by that is the view that I approach leftist politics and political economy and so on and so forth, the foundational sort of perspective that I'm coming at it from. And I will be doing a series of videos explaining them rather than reading the various essays that I wrote that are foundational to that section. And so those are the videos I will be doing after this, and of course hopefully I can go through and deliver the foundationals for all of these sections of mine in which I explain the purpose of this and what exactly it is I'm trying to do, and so on and so forth within these particular areas. So I hope you enjoyed that reading of mine. And I hope you give me a like and subscribe and all of that sort of stuff, share and so on and so forth. And even if you disagree, please, by all means, tell me where you disagree with me on, what I'm wrong on. But if you are to do so, please bring sources, cite sources, and by all means, please do come in good faith. That's the only thing that I ask. I'm happy for engagement. I love engagement, but I want good faith engagement, and I want sources. If I'm going to be providing sources, which I always do, I provide perhaps more sources than most others, at least in terms of writing and so on and so forth, then I would expect the same sort of courtesy, if you will. And so thank you for tuning in, and hopefully see you next time.